I swear, and I know most of you guys know all this already, but the sports media in this country, absolutely useless. They are absolutely useless. I love my New Orleans Pelicans. I watch almost every regular season game live. If we're busy for one reason or another, I'll watch it on tape delay. But if I'm watching live, after the game, I wait around for the postgame press conferences. I want to see what Willie Green has to say about the performance of Brandon Ingram. Oh, wait, he's MIA. Has anyone seen Brandon Ingram lately? I last saw him, I think it was November 25th. He got himself a little toe bobo. His toe at the time resembled the career of Bomani Jones. He has been listed as day-to-day for the last 2 months. But anyway, I watch the post-game press conferences because I want to hear what coaches and players have to say about the game. You know, the entire reason I spent 2.5 hours on a Wednesday night watching them play. I want to know their thoughts on the game. I don't care what Jonas Valanciunas thinks about the war in Ukraine. It doesn't matter how Willie Green feels about gun control. CJ McCollum has become one of my favorite players. When I'm watching him play, not one time do I think, I wonder how CJ McCollum feels about the butt bongo. I don't wonder that because I don't care. This is a business relationship. I pay to watch you play professional basketball. When it comes to the sports media, I come to you for information about sports. I want information on the players. I want to know how the front office feels about Brandon Ingram dragging out this toe injury for 2 months. I don't pay every month for all these media subscriptions for these shit-fuck journalists to ask players, how do you feel about pride? Ooh, I just love pride. Mix pride with a supersized cucumber. You have a recipe for Preparation H treatment. Let me tell you how I feel about pride. There is one constant when it comes to pride. End result, always the same. Pride comes before the fall. The collapse of every tyrannical regime, the collapse of major corporations, you trace back the root cause, oftentimes it's rooted in pride. If the NHL's not careful, they will be the next to fall. And if you look at their ratings, they don't have very far to fall. If I was a fan of the Philadelphia Flyers this morning, I would be waking up pissed off. Pissed off at the organization, pissed off at the Philadelphia sports media. Last night, the Flyers invited the Anaheim Ducks to join them in their celebration of the Gay Pride. Wait a minute. I thought Pride was celebrated in June. The entire month of June. We call it Woke Christmas. Last I checked, this was January. We don't celebrate the 4th of July on January 18th. Why? Because it ain't the 4th of July. We don't celebrate Thanksgiving on the 4th Thursday in April because it ain't Thanksgiving. So what the hell are the Flyers doing celebrating Pride in the middle of January? Casey, you just don't understand. Giving us in the entire month of June is just not enough. We want to celebrate our butts every month of the year. Pride is to be recognized daily. It's a lifestyle. Okay. Fair enough. But here's the thing. It's your lifestyle. If you're an atheist, I'm not pressuring you to celebrate the birth of baby Jesus in December. It's not your lifestyle. If you're a Lizzo, I'm not inviting you over to the house to eat kale chips. I'm not asking you to run a 10-mile marathon for charity. I'm going to respect your lifestyle choices. So answer me this. How come normal people don't get that same consideration in return? How come we not only have to accept your lifestyle, make concessions for your lifestyle, we're also expected to flaunt it. We're expected to publicly support it. I don't have an issue with the LGBTers. I really don't. If you want to hold hands with Gay Garrison, go for it. If you're lusting for a round of the bongo with Bikini Brad, take your shot. But that doesn't mean I'm going to wear a rainbow shirt when I'm going to a hockey game. Flyers defenseman Ivan Provorov felt the same way. One of the ridiculous requirements of these Pride Night celebrations is the demand that these heterosexual athletes wear rainbows on their jerseys. Every member of the Philadelphia Flyers forcefully tasted the rainbow last night except for Ivan Provorov. They wore the rainbow during pregame warm-ups. He decided he was just going to stay in the locker room. Now, this should be a non-story, right? I'm not in the habit of asking grown men about their clothing attire. We see some ridiculous outfits worn by NBA players. After a tough loss, I'm not expecting the media to ask LeBron James why he's wearing a tampon. If I had to guess, 99.9% of fans in the arena last night did not notice that Ivan Provorov declined the Fruity Pebbles. But the media sure noticed. The Flyers, they ended up winning the game 5-2. After the game, head coach John Tortorella took his place at the podium for the postgame press conference. What was one of the first questions from the media? Had nothing to do with the win, had nothing to do with hockey. The media, they were more worried about one member of the team refusing to endorse a lifestyle that he chooses not to live. They didn't care that 99% of the other players conformed to their demands. They chose to single out the one man who refused to comply. Like I tell you guys all the time, in the eyes of deacons at Woke United Methodist, compliance is not optional, it's mandatory. Listen to these absolutely ridiculous questions and how John Tortorella responds. Roll the film.
Ivan Provorov wasn't in warm-ups before the game. There's a report that he wasn't in warm-ups because he didn't want to wear the Pride jersey for Pride Night. Do you have any comment on that?
With Provi, he's being true to himself and to his religion. This has to do with his belief in his religion. And it's one thing I respect about Provi. He's always true to himself. And so that's where we're at with that.
Was there any consideration on your part when he chose not to wear the jersey to not play him as a result?
No. I'm not going to answer many more questions on it because I just think it's unfair. I know you're going to probably talk to Provi, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it.
First of all, credit to John Tortorella for standing up to this absurdity. Credit to him for having the back of Ivan Provorov. I don't know if we would see this same response from half the head coaches in the NBA. Greg Popovich, he would probably bench one of his players if they refused to endorse the WNBA lifestyle. Why in the hell do they care so much about one player not endorsing the Pride? I'll tell you why they care. This has nothing to do with gay pride. Gay pride is simply the cause being used to further the real agenda. This is all about control. If one player takes a stand, it could embolden other players to take a stand with him. If enough people do that, it creates resistance to this twisted woke movement. They cannot have resistance. They can't have people speaking out against them. The woke movement, it's kind of like a house built on the sand. The movement is built on lies and propaganda. All it takes is a strong wind and the house crumbles. Now, I don't know which media shitfuck was asking the questions last night, but did you hear his follow-up question? Did you consider punishing him by forcing him to sit out this game for refusing cucumber insertion? Are you fucking kidding me? Brandon Ingram is taking a beating from the fan base in New Orleans right now for missing so many games because of a toe injury. Fans want to see players active every game. And now we have the media pushing coaches to punish healthy players because they refuse to endorse the Pride? What the hell does Pride have to do with the NHL? And let me ask you this. If the NHL was hosting a Christian Pride night, where they were giving away free Bibles to fans at the arena. They were asking players to wear crosses on their jersey. Let's say one, maybe two players were Muslim. They refused to wear the crosses for religious reasons. Do you think the media would be questioning players and coaches after the game, asking why Muslim players refused to comply? Do you think that would happen? Do you see where I'm going here? The shitfucks, they are always splitting the woke wiener. In this case, they would claim Muslim players have the right to refuse due to their religious beliefs. But if a Catholic player refuses to endorse the Pride, He has no religious rights. He is expected to comply. After the game, the filth in the media surrounded Ivan Provorov, demanding to know why he refused to endorse the Pride. Listen to his response.
Everybody, I respect everybody's choices. My choice is to stay true to myself and my religion. That's all I'm going to say.
How do your religious beliefs?
Like I said, that's all I'm going to comment on that. If you have any hockey questions, I would answer those.
Can you just clarify what?
What is your religion?
Can you clarify your religion?
Russian Orthodox.
Good for him. Good for him. He was a lot nicer than I would have been. Can you define your religion for me? Yeah, my religion is fuck you. Can you define your religion? I'm proud of my religion. I worship the woke oak tree. That's just great. Be sure to get a good grip on that tree during a lightning storm. If you're a die-hard fan of the NHL, I'm sure this is something you're happy to see. A head coach defending one of his players for taking a stand against the wanker spankers. Enes Kanter, he took a similar stand in the NBA and he got blackballed. Now, while this is definitely a positive for the NHL in terms of the optics, the truth is the league had absolutely nothing to do with this. The NHL, they are still 10 toes deep into the woke pond. The path the NHL is currently on is the path to irrelevancy. You can make a strong case that right now, the NHL is more woke than the NBA. The NBA lost a sizable portion of their casual fan base when they were baptized and born again. But the NBA, they had a sizable portion that they could almost afford to lose. That doesn't mean they wanted to lose them, but they could afford it. The NHL does not have that luxury. When you're drawing 250,000 viewers on ESPN, you don't have 50% of your audience to push away. The NHL better get their head out of their ass. You were trending in the right direction. You were riding high coming out of the playoffs last summer. God only knows why you decided to start grilling the woke wiener, but KC knows the end result: failure. But give me your thoughts. Sports media, they expressed their fake outrage over Ivan Provorov refusing to endorse the Pride. Let me know what you think. Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys later.